Osana! 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 Osana!
Oh, wow! We need to have a talk.
Oh, wow! We can't! Okay, so now that I finally stopped following the development of Yandere Simulator, I gotta find myself a new game to be hyped about. But before I completely sever myself from the dev, I gotta make this video. Hello, my name is Answer-chan, and today I'll be talking about a person called Yandere Dev. Though you may know him as YandereDev, Senpai, F1, or Alex Mahan. There are many videos on him, such as The Rise and Fall of Yandere Dev or Yandere Simulator, a game that will never be. I recommend checking them out as both of them are pretty eye-opening as to what kind of person Alex really is. The creators of these videos show the flaws both in Yandev's behavior and his inability to take criticism without breaking. Speaking of Yandev, he's also the creator of a buggy but extremely popular sandbox called Yandere Simulator. I'm not calling this a game because there isn't any end goal implemented yet, and we don't really know when or if it will be implemented. To keep the video short, I won't be talking about his past. The Rise and Fall of Yandere Dev already covers it all. Instead, I will be talking about his two newest videos. Where's Osana and how long does it take to make a video game? Grab your popcorn, since we'll be here for a while, and let's go!
If I put Osana into the game right now, it would not be any fun to eliminate her. It would be exactly like killing Kokona or any other random student in the game.
Not necessarily. For a long period of the development, Coconuts was the only NPC with such elimination methods like drowning, poisoning, framing for ending a laifu, fake suicide. You get the point. She was a test rival, a dummy. Meanwhile, Sake and the rest of the school had only two elimination methods, stabbing and the debug comments, though some people call those Easter eggs. This means that eliminating Sona would be like eliminating Coconuts only, save for a few tweaks and changes to make it at least seem more unique and challenging. And people wouldn't really be bored. They weren't when Coconuts was a rival. People can still make some really interesting scenarios involving sauna. They can experiment with the game, with the elimination methods, with the clubs, with stuff like that.
In order for me to craft a fun and challenging experience, I need many different types of obstacles that I can use to create interesting scenarios that require the player to be clever and use strategy in order to accomplish their objective. I need things like the student council, the bullies, the delinquents, the photography club, etc. Without these students or the features associated with them, I can't arrange characters around the school in a way that creates challenging situations.
Okay, I understand that you want the game to be challenging, but at the same time fun. If it was too easy to win, people wouldn't try to check out other elimination methods, create strategies, and most would probably drop out after a few minutes of playtime. But it is already fun for many people. Heck, BG Mike and Cub Scout still play it when there are new updates. You just need to tweak the difficulty so that won't drop out while still eliminating Osana. She is supposed to be the first rival. Somewhat of a tutorial for the game. Also, there's one thing I need to address. By putting the video presenting the whole rejection elimination method on YouTube, you created an impression that Sona is ready and that you're delaying her on purpose to grab more patron money, at least in the eyes of some people. Others simply want to know where she is. Hence, the overflow of people asking for her on your videos. At least before you deleted all the comments.
As you can see, most of this work is already done.
My favorite part of this video. I just love it how he put every elimination method, every social interaction, persona, favor, gameplay mechanic, and info-chan related stuff into their own bullet points. It's just perfect for nitpicky people, you know. Look, Senpai, I rearranged it in a correct way. Aren't you proud of me? Of course, stuff like the elimination methods are essential for the game to be fun. It may seem that I'm downgrading them in the new list, but it irked me a bit when I first saw it. I know this doesn't look all that good, but would you rather see this or this?
The build that contains Osana is going to be a big deal.
Yes, we know. It will then turn into an actual demo. We will finally have a proper rival to eliminate.
YandereDev! If it takes 5 years to finish one rival and 9 will remain after her, does that mean it'll take 45 more years to finish the game?
I don't think so, dear. The dev will likely copy elements of Sona's code to I Am a Muffin, Class in SAS, Coca-Cola, Asubold, Eye Candy Nurse, The Biologic Teacher, Tough Cookie, Senpai's Twin, and the Supreme Leader. Same how he did with adding Coconut's code to Sona. Of course, there will be tweaks in the code since they need to have different voice lines added.
Over the past 50 months, 5% of my time has been spent working on Osana, and 95% has been spent on implementing the game's core mechanics. Thus, the time spent on the game's development so far does not represent how long it takes to complete a single rival.
Yeah, that's the part where I might need to disagree. You claim that you work around 8 hours a day every day, that you don't have any time for hobbies. At least according to the What's Taking So Long Part 1 video. And yet, you have your own Twitch account where you stream video games every day for at least 3 hours. Though sometimes you churn out even longer streams. Like that one time when you streamed for 11 hours straight without a break. And it still isn't the longest stream you had. Only recently have you made videos that are 3 hours or less, but that is because people accused you of streaming more than you worked. I have no issues with you wanting to play games, but you should also spend time working on the game, or at least trying to improve your code because it isn't the best in the world. Remember, if you add more students into the game, you'll need some frame rate to spare, and right now you can't do that.
After fully implementing a rival once, I'll have a template that I can use for all future rivals. In other words, I can reuse a lot of the code that was used for Osana, so all future rivals can be implemented faster and more efficiently than Osana.
Sorry for interrupting. I just need to add something real quick.
After Osana, I will launch a crowdfunding campaign. One of the purposes of the crowdfunding campaign is to raise enough money to hire at least one experienced, highly qualified professional programmer. I hope that this video helps you to understand why I'm not prioritizing Osana at this point in time.
Yeah. He also added a garden to Osana's house as a way to show that the work on her is extremely slow but existent. But you already know that from Bijumake and other YouTubers. On to the next video!
How long does it take to make a video game?
It depends on many factors. Working alone or in a team is one of them, as well as the scope of the game.
Here's a list of indie games and how long they were in development for. You'll notice that development time directly corresponds to the complexity of the game. Short, story-focused games with simple artwork, simple gameplay, and a heavy emphasis on characters and dialogue are developed faster.
Most of the games you've shown only took 4 or 5 years from start to finish in terms of development. Meanwhile, your project is not even close to being a demo, and it has been in the development for 4 years now. To top it all off, You still add new things to the lore and many ideas you just got, as if you were still making the concept for the project. Or you simply delay some features for later, like you did with the photography club.
Yandere Simulator is almost as complex as a Hitman game combined with a Persona game. It's a stealth assassination game, but it's also a school simulation game.
I think it depends on the viewer if the game seems deep to them or not. Some may believe it's a great project, however, there will still be people who will think that what you did is pretty bland. Please don't compare your project to Persona or Hitman, for it's not even finished. It isn't even a demo.
In most cases, the speed of a game's development is only going to be determined by the factors that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. However, there are also other circumstances that can cause a game's development to slow down. First, as the complexity of a project increases, it will become proportionally difficult to work on it. Every time you add a new feature, it will affect other features, create new bugs, increase the amount of time you need to spend waiting for the code to compile, increase the loading times of the game, etc.
Oh, so this is why you do streams every day. But the number of features you added recently is pretty small, lower than it previously was. Some people worry that you put playing games as a bigger priority than doing the coding, and I don't think that the number of emails was lowered due to the recent drama. If you feel really pressured by the development, use that Patreon money of yours to hire a professional programmer to help you, and actually try learning from them rather than going against them. Oh, and also you should evaluate if the current scope of the project is worth a burnout or not.
If a group of weird people on the internet decide that they feel completely justified in treating you like garbage, and you're subjected to abusive treatment on a daily basis for multiple years, you'll become depressed, which will affect your productivity, which will cause people to call you lazy or a scam artist, which will cause you to receive even more abuse, which will cause you to become even more depressed and less productive, which becomes a never-ending cycle of abuse and depression.
Oh look, the pity part! Yandev, I gotta be honest with you. The internet is not filled only with nice people who will love everything you do. There will still be people who will criticize you but don't mean to be rude or anything. They just want the best possible outcome out of something. There will also be trolls who will find messing around with someone to be funny. However, the trolls will not be on your tail until you do something bad. I know because I have met a few trolls before in my life, but I wasn't their victim.
Even if you're 100% dedicated to the game that you're developing, and you've sacrificed everything else in your life so that you can focus exclusively on your game.
Not everything in your case. You still do streams on Twitch as a form of entertainment.
And that estimate is... when it's ready.
Surely there will be a mixed opinion about this decision. Many of your fans will think that it seems reasonable and they don't want you to overwork yourself. Others may think that you just laze around again. And some may not care at all, myself included. To be honest, I wouldn't be that much surprised if you would one day turn the project into only a hobby, or decided to make an entirely new project, abandoning YanSim altogether. It already looked like you abandoned the old estimate a long time ago, as well as that you didn't have a new one. So I don't think the progress in the game development will become faster now. Quite the contrary.
I always end my videos by saying, thank you for following the development of Yandere Simulator. But if you're looking forward to Yandere Sim, maybe the smartest thing to do is to completely ignore it.
On one side, people won't be bored to death when YanSim is released as a full game, finally. However, not all fans play the game and instead watch the YouTubers do it. And the YouTubers, like Jay from the Cub Scouts or Biju Mike, will play it, since it does give them a lot of views. But on the other hand, you previously said that you need hype to keep the game alive. Too many people forget about the game and it dies. That's pretty tough. I would not want to be on your place in such a situation. When I first made this script, I expected my video to end here. However, just when I thought YandereDev was finally going to resume his work on Osana or any other feature, I went both on his Twitch channel and WordPress blog. And any remaining hope I had for Sim expired. And now my popcorn got cold. He streamed a few more times, although now his streams only clock in at 3 hours. And he will be soon going to stream again by the time of writing the script. I think people already got used to it by the frequency of these streams. However, I will be talking about his newest journals on the WordPress. One is referring to the current drama, while the other one is talking about Tiny Build. So let's give it a shot. The first journal goes straight forward into telling the reader that a partnership was terminated. YandereDev, rather than telling the hard truth from the beginning and be as tame as possible, he left his fanbase in the dark. Sure, the news would be terrible, but people would still try to encourage you to seek some help. They wouldn't ask for Tiny Build anymore in your videos, but of course the past is in the past and you can't do anything to undo it. Only repairing the damage will help. And he does state this in his journal. Right before talking about people making speculations, well, you left them no choice. People are naturally really inquiring. He also proved the rumors of him having bad relations with the programmer to be true. He didn't do so with the speculations that he didn't understand the code though. Instead, he said that due to the programmer's work, his work would have been for nothing. Mainly because of how their code were different from his on a major scale. In the end, I think that this journal is pretty tame and YandereDev tries his best to explain the whole Tiny Build situation without digging an even bigger hole. Now, on to the next journal. He begins his second journal with a quick evaluation of his past. The rise and fall of Yandere Dev is focused on this topic as well. It's true, everyone makes mistakes when they're young, but that doesn't mean that you're still without any fault. Some people find it sketchy that you still use the Unity store models for the main characters while also selling merchandise of the protagonist Ayano Aishi. You stole the grass texture in the past and had to change it when confronted with the creator of the texture. Dylan Thomas's video called Yandere Simulator is Stupid goes in depth into this situation. And you also recolored the photography club members by using somebody else's templates without crediting them or asking for permission. He then proceeds to talk about people who are supposedly his bullies. And oh boy, you can't play the victim more than that. He talks about people who dig in his past. Many trolls normally don't do such stuff and only resort to name calling. So that leaves us with the critics and some sleuths. Sleuths like me who only dig into something if they are interested in the topic. They don't want to humiliate anyone, they're not cruel, they just want the truth. They sometimes even seek justice for a person's previous misdeeds. People wouldn't snuff things from your past if not for your misdeeds, past or present. Heck, even most of the trolls don't think of attacking you if you don't do some crazy bad shit. Also, the example with a fat person doesn't really line up with your situation. You publicly talked about your fantasies of killing your parents, which is pretty messed up to be honest. The man from the example didn't do anything that would make him deserve getting bullied. I don't think anyone deserves to get bullied, but there are always people who deserve to be called out. You call facts that are against you propaganda. You call people who see your flaws as brainwashed. But what if little Timmy was just tired of constant delights, not only of Osana, but just said goodbye to following the development of Yandere Simulator, and that he didn't know of the anti-YandereDev propaganda? Also, most of these quote-unquote insults were normal comments. No nonsensical crap was thrown at you. And then he goes into another round of pity party. He describes him disabling comments on all of his videos as protecting himself and his fans from the anti-Yandere Dev propaganda, when in reality it was a way of silencing anyone who brought up the uncomfortable stuff. Then he talks about the propaganda against him once more, and he divides his fanbase into two sections, pro and anti. That's just how it looks. Apparently there's no middle ground anymore, like the YouTubers and people who wanna stay neutral. Alrighty, now I'm done. I wanna know what you guys think of this whole situation. Please leave your opinion in the comment section below. Oh, and thank you for watching this video. This has been Answer Chan. Bye bye!